And we're gonna see how loud it is. So, all right. That's your computer dinging, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to close stuff out.
Okay. So now I'm gonna go to YouTube. Okay, say something.
Hey, what's going on? I don't know. Pocket Eights, bro. It seems.
Keep talking. I'm gonna.
Yeah. I don't know. Pocket Eights when you get 3-bet seems like an easy call for me normally.
Keep talking. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's Ace King. I don't know. Coin flipping on an Ace King again. Is it really a coin flip? I always just feel like an Ace King is just kind of like how I've lived my whole life. You know, it's just Ace King. I'm just kind of surrendering to certain moments. You know, like just shove it all in. Don't even need to. It's just kind of sloppy sometimes the way I play it. You know, it's a big metaphor. I think I'm, paying too much rake. I think that I need to get a better rake back deal. I think you need to get a better rake back. I mean, imagine if you got rake back at these Zoom games. I mean, you could potentially quit your day job and really hustle for that $30 an hour. I mean, that's Ace King offsuit. What do you think?
I think it might be okay.
Okay.
So I just like turned up the internal volume on my computer.
Okay, let me. And then should I turn my audio down or no? I'll just keep it where it was.
No, yeah, keep it. I mean, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Because your audio shouldn't be playing into this, really.
The other thing is I could put on. Yeah, okay. Well, let's. I'll just keep the computer a little closer to me too. I think last time, like maybe I was. It wasn't like far away, but it was like 3.5 feet as opposed to, 1.5 feet poker distance.
Yeah. We should probably invest in microphones at some point.
I have a really nice.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, for work, they send me like a Java.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I could throw that in there.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably on my end.
Yeah. I have an extra one too if you want. I can mail. I mean, they've given me like 3 different headsets because you can tell they're just so sick of fucking hearing people's dogs bark during Q&A calls.
Yeah.
And they're not ready to go Elon Musk on us yet. Like, get into the office or you're fired.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty assholey, wasn't it? What a douche.
I know. I was like, dude, fuck off. It's really just so he doesn't have to announce layoff. He just doesn't want to lay people off, so he just does it this way.
Or get them to quit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, way to do layoffs, bro. Good call. It's like, fuck no, dude. It's pretty smart, though.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk is really good at doing tough things in a smart way.
Yeah. All right, so are we going to review the hands? How do you want to play this?
So what I was thinking was that we do those ones.
Oh, the 33 hand session. That's right.
Yeah, so I have 2 of those. So if one goes too quickly, we can just do a second one.
Let's do one. I mean, even if it's 10 minutes, let's do one because that might be I don't know what the attention span is.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. I doubt it will go 10 minutes though, but let's bust it out. So I'll do you like when last time I was kind of speaking in generalities just because in case it was like a stream and people were tuning in. So I don't know if like we want more of that, kind of like, well, what was your strategy? Like I knew your strategy, but I was like having you repeat it,
Yeah,
We'll have to figure that out. That's why I was doing it. It was like
Yeah, I mean, I think like I mean, something to keep in mind is that there's not anyone watching right now.
Yeah. See, we need to record that, bro.
We are. It's recorded.
Okay, that's good.
So like, there's no one watching. So I mean, in one respect, like you just kind of like just do a genuine thing, like be yourself and like go through the process and like, and if it gains traction and gets popular organically, like that's kind of the idea, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So that's my theory on it anyway. All right, so this was the first one of these 9-minute long sessions.
Okay.
A total of 33 hands. So let's do it.
Right. Yeah.
There's 33 hands right there. We'll go in order. Should I just show whole cards? Probably, huh?
Yeah, oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah, otherwise this is not interesting.
I mean, that's the whole bringing it to the table, as you say.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I need, blow it up. I'm still looking at you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is it delayed or? Oh, dude, I need to share my screen like an idiot. Okay. Share. That's funny. I'm like, okay, let's go, buddy. Dur, dur, dur.
There it is. Nice.
Okay. So we're on the big blind. Somehow, I always start on the big blind. It never fails to start me first hand on the big blind.
I think it's default Zoom, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. So I had this thing. This is a little bit of a side note, and I don't want to go on too big of a tangent. But like, I looked at a pretty big sample set of like sorting it by position, and I'm like, in the small blind the most. Like here, look. If we go back to May 1st, so this is pretty big. This is like almost 6,000 hands. And I sort by position. Well, okay, this didn't work. Actually, I was in the hijack the most. This is the most even it's ever been. Honestly, like there was a while there when I was playing.
Can you blow that up so I can see what is it? Are you just trying like total hands played? You're saying you played more hands from the hijack than anywhere else?
Yeah, can you not see the?
I mean, I can see there's 1,000 something, so I can see generally. But why is that? Shouldn't it be the same on every like?
Well, that was my point. Is like so before when I was playing 2550, the anomaly was in the small blind. Like it was like I played the small blind like 60 times more than anything else. And I was like, that's bullshit. The software is rigged, like, rah, rah, rah. And I think it's just, like, variance, I guess. Like...
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how to zoom in the view here. I mean, this is, like, as big as it gets. Anyway.
Okay.
So, well, like, whatever. So, going back to just this week, sorting by session. This is the one that we were looking at. In order, 9-8. Alright. Yeah, so, started out with big blind. 10-7 opens, I think that's totally...
That's fine.
Jack 9 in the small blind, folding to a button raise.
You've 3-bet that before for sure.
I think I might be 3-betting that pure. Hang on a second.
God, I am like...
That's a 100% 3-bet for me.
Wow. Okay, I love it, bro. That's not for me.
Really?
No, in fact, I realized my 6-max game is honestly kind of weak. my full ring game. Anyway, there's a tangent aside. My full ring and my tournament game is really solid, but my 6-max game has always been, honestly, it's always been kind of weak.
I mean, you gotta get in there and mix it up with 6-max.
Yeah, it goes away from like the strategy of bum hunting, which is really my bread and butter. But that's a story for another time. But that's okay. That's good though. I'm learning something new. I mean, I figured it was some 3-bet range.
Nah, so this is the small blind versus button raise that I'm playing.
And these are this is a range this is a custom. I mean, this isn't the standard range.
I mean, this is pokercoaching.com. I have a subscription to them.
Okay.
Jonathan Little he built these based on, like, he did a whole bunch of solver work.
Gotcha. Okay.
And like basically, so these ranges are all assuming that your opponents are also GTO. And so it has like a bunch of assumptions baked into like this small blind versus button range. Like it assumes a certain opening range from the button. It assumes a certain like 3-betting range whenever or 4-betting range when you 3-bet. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it has a bunch of assumptions baked in, and those assumptions are like that it's a good balanced GTO-ish opponent because he did this solver work to come up with these.
Gotcha.
There's definitely some stuff in here that I'll be reading other articles and like they'll disagree a little bit, but the concept is small blind versus button. Like I said, I'm never flatting, right? I'm always 3-betting or folding, so that's this range, and it's just super linear. Like, I mean, other than ace-5 and ace-4, which again, those are kind of weird hands because they can make wheel draws and stuff, right? Like, but basically, it's just a strong linear range. 14% of hands. I mean, it's this is tight linear. Like, you're not even playing like small pocket pairs against the bottom.
I noticed that. Yeah, right? I noticed that, and I actually think that serves you really well in anonymous. I think being super nitty under the gun can serve you really well in anonymous tables.
Well, we're looking at the small blind, but I think in that case too, like anytime you're in a position, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So 8-9 offsuit. Are you calling this?
I've definitely called that before.
I mean, I've called it before.
I don't. So honestly, it's opponent specific for me on that. But these are anonymous tables.
But these are anonymous tables, right? So like,
that's probably a fold most of the time.
So it's 100% fold. Again, the same range, right? Like this is the defend range, and like the 3-betting is a little polarized, right? You have this like you're mixing in these weaker hands that are 3-betting to balance out the premium hands. I mean, it's kind of interesting, I think. And then the rest is just a lot of flatting and like, I mean, you're defending pretty wide. You're playing like 40% of hands, but not that wide. And I guarantee you, we'll see some hands here. We'll see people defend a big blind way wider than that.
And then the coolest thing is if we see that you folded a hand that would have cost you a shit ton of money. I mean, I think that's where people like you myself will get a ton of value. Seriously, you'll be like, wow, folded 10 king off.
Right. And then flopped ace, queen, jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, ace-9, low jack, standard open. King 10 suited. I think button 3-bet is pretty standard.
I think that's, yeah. I mean,
So the range I'm playing that's about 50-50.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a call, like it's a mix. Just because you're in position, like it's hard to go wrong, right? Like,
yeah.
I guess I don't know. Maybe 7s are gonna come along, dude, bro.
What he folds?
7s folded the big blind. Well, okay, it's a 3-bet. Fold 3.
I folded those 7s before.
Actually, you know what? I take it back. I forgot that this was a 3-bet. I think that's a correct fold.
Okay, is that ever a call?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If it's the cutoff that opened, maybe, But this 3-bet, like, you should. I mean, the low jacks opened, right? Like, so you're beginning with a pretty tight range to 3-bet against that. Like, that's
Yeah.
you've got two pretty good hands potentially, and sevens could be in a lot of trouble with a lot of just like shitty middle pairs. I didn't notice that it was a 3-bet, so
That's okay.
fold 7 fold makes sense. Good job, buddy. Way to go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Nothing
8-3.
interesting. A3 on the button is a fold.
It's that blind versus blind variance.
Bro, I hate blind versus blind so much. I'm folding Jack 7 offsuit. I like because I'm playing a. I think that if you're playing a limp strategy, then the stuff like Jack 7, like if some stuff you limp and some stuff you raise, Jack 7 is like not really good enough to limp. I don't know where that falls, but I don't think it's this is wide to me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with. I mean, yeah. I'm with you.
Queen 8.
Queen 8 defending 100% of the time.
So my range, again, whatever, where these come from, is 3-betting this 50% of the time.
But never folding.
No, never.
No. Okay. Yeah.
But it's 3-betting sometimes, right? Because blind versus blind. Fucking.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that, buddy. This guy
knows what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
So it's interesting if we can see moves like this. You could immediately mark someone in this player pool as like GTO competent, and it'd be interesting if we went through each session and we're like, okay, we marked 12 people GTO competent, 5 complete fish. You know, just as a note.
But you don't know like who the.
No, I know, but just as a way to get just as a way.
So I have tags. Like I have a tag for like loose opens and loose 3-bets. I could have it like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like good 3-bet.
Yeah, exactly. Like if someone's like, is there a single move somebody's doing that you can almost identify that they are a good poker player?
I mean, I feel like 3-betting Queen 8 blind versus blind like.
That. See, that's what I'm talking about, and that to me is valuable. Is one of the valuable things about seeing hands like this, because you can commentate and be like, "This is nope, this is."
I think the way that you quantify it is what percentage of the time does this happen, and somebody like makes a competent play.
Exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to make that note. Okay.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're on hand number, I don't know what. Haven't gotten shit. King, queen, button open, no problem. Is the 10-8. So 10-8 suited is not. That's a little. Sorry. That's 60% 3-bet in the small blind. But not when you're shallow stacked, I don't think. I don't know. 72. Big blinds, whatever. King,
okay.
Always calling. We got ourselves a flop. Ooh,
nice,
spicy. Yeah, I think ace high flops you want to bet pretty frequently as the 3-better. Makes sense.
Okay, so this idea of betting a third pot. This is a new move. This is a post 2016 move. I'm probably going to be dated here, but the idea here is you're betting a small pot to polarize, and you're betting big. Is this a very polarized bet? Like you're never betting middling?
No. So this is basically saying like I am playing a
set of aces.
No, I'm playing it. I have just as your range goes, the small blind 3-bet range. Like I said earlier, it should be tight and linear, right? And you've got 2 face cards. I mean, ace high with a face card. Like, you just hit this flop, like, really strong, right? Like, you have ace jack, ace king, ace queen. Like, you have a ton of aces, sets of aces. You have broadways that all have, like, gut shot draws now. You have like a whole bunch of backdoor flush draws because most of it's suited broadways, right? Like you have king jack. I mean, like you just smash this board, and so you have like you have a range advantage, so basically you're just betting you're just 100% c betting or close to it, 80-90% or whatever. Like you're and if you're gonna bet that frequently, then it's a small dollar amount, right? Because you have a lot of like you just it's not polarized. It's the opposite of polarized.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So because I mean, yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think that you got a call with the gutter ball here.
Oh, with the 7, I'm definitely calling that.
King Queen.
Yeah, the only thing, I think I've even called that when the guy has fucking. I'm calling that even if the guy has 40 big blinds because I'm like, that's weak. I should just bluff him off.
Things are.
So this is good. This is a good hand. What's the So what's this guy do? What do you think? He's betting.
He's betting out. I mean, so like.
I think he could bet more. I think bet 21.
Yeah, I agree. I think 2/3 pot is good. 20, 22-ish, something like that. 21.
Just because the half pot is perceived by still a lot of people as weakish, but maybe he's thinking he's good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I like you're pretty happy to just realize your equity too, right? Like I think it's okay here, right?
Check call or check raise all in.
With you have an 8, right?
Yeah, I think the check raise all in is the play.
So then you get called by a gut shot.
I mean, you just hope an 8-10 folds,
Ace 10, yeah, that's good, yeah.
Or even ace
up on the gutter ball.
That's good.
I don't
blame him.
I think you could call this one more time, but I mean, you also.
Oof.
I mean, he's not like his pure equity. He doesn't, which we don't know.
Yeah.
He has a flush draw and a pair, but his pure equity is below pot odds. So I mean, he folded correctly here, but range wise, I mean, I don't know if this guy's. I think this is probably a good fold. I like.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy. 2-4. All right, we're on hand number 5. This is whatever.
It's fine. I mean, a lot of it, honestly, is like I could see this really taking off, but we're gonna have to condense it.
Yeah.
2-minute videos at a time, like one hand and 2. We can have a reel that's 20 minutes, but the shit people will want is they'll be like, "Oh, these guys, I want to see the hand of their day."
Right.
And then it's like,
So Queen 5 offsuit on the button is way too wide of an opening range. The hands that they have notwithstanding.
Yeah.
Jack 4 offsuit is.
Now Queen 5 suited real quick. Can we look that up? Is that a raise? I think that's.
Which one? Queen 5.
Queen 5 suited.
Oh yeah, that's definitely an open.
Okay.
On the button? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're raising all Queen X suited except Queen 2 suited. On the button. I am.
Oh, no wonder, bro. That's fuck. My whole game is off. That's why.
It's been the Queen 2 suited. That's what.
Dude, for real.
So okay, this is basically like Tard versus Tard, right? Like.
Yeah.
No one should be in this hand, but they are, and it's spicy. Open-ended straight draw versus bottom pair. What do we do here? Check seems right. Sure. Okay. Yeah, he perceives that to be good for his range. He's not going anywhere with his bottom pair. Oh my. Check. Jack 4 wins.
Wow. The Queen 5 does not blast.
The Queen 5 does not blast.
I feel like the Queen 5 could blast.
I think that I mean, yeah, he could. Like, that's a pretty decent hand to blast with, right? But he also, if you're opening Queen 5, you're so wide, like, how do you pick the right bluffs? You have a lot of 5s there. If you're opening Queen 5 offsuit, like, are you opening Jack 5 offsuit? Are you opening 10-5 offsuit? Like, you have a lot of open-ended straight draws in that position. Like, you got to give some of them up or you're going to be over bluffing. King 7 suited is an open from the hijack. Is it pure? It's 65% open. You fold 35% of the time, for what it's worth. Ace 10 suited is probably a pure 3-bet. Yeah, 76% 3-bet, but most of the time. Oh, wait, that's against the low jack. What is it against the high jack? Pure. Pure 3-bet. I mean, I think I have to fold this. Yep.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Now, if that's 10 big blinds, is it call?
That's an interesting question. So like sometimes if somebody like there's a move on here that people do where they just like click back 3-bet. And like you'll open for 3 or whatever and they'll just be like $10 or something.
What's the weakest hand in your range you're calling this 13 big blind free bet?
I mean, this is a standard 3-bet size, so I would just follow the chart. Pocket 5-4 suited.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're playing all these low suited connectors because they are really good at cracking aces and stuff. You know, they just are. You don't.
Yeah.
You get good board coverage. You don't like interact with the other guy's range all that much. And you know, you're playing. You should not be opening pocket deuces very often from the hijack, but when you do, pocket 2s and pocket 4s, when you do open them, you call 100% of the time. But your open range, it should only be like less than 50%, I think, of your open. Like, you're not always using these.
Okay.
And then I like this. This is spicy. Ace 3 suited, 40% 4-bet.
What? That's why those guys are doing that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a fold. So we've lost $8 here.
Okay, no problem. I'm getting more value out of having the table up and seeing.
Ace open on the button. 6-7. This is a spicy. I think you 3-bet this sometimes. Are you ever 3-betting this? Or just flatting?
6-7? I 3-bet that for sure.
Okay, so my range, the ranges I'm playing have a 40% 3-bet here.
Honestly, though, I'm definitely calling that like 70 to 80%.
I mean, that's probably okay, right? Like,
because I don't know, and this is where I could use improvement. I just think I think I'm getting too creative post flop or like on the flop.
Yeah.
After the so, whereas like you can do it cheaper pre-flop a lot of times.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, calling is definitely fine, like, more than half the time. So, again, I think this is a spot where you bet, like, 2 big blinds or something, right? Like,
yeah.
You have the range advantage here. That's what he did. Folds.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool story, bro. Ace 4 suited open. Ace Queen suited.
Okay, guys, the 3-bet.
These guys fold garbage.
Ouch.
I don't know. This is low jack, right? Low jack versus the button 3-bet. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everybody's playing it fine so far.
Yeah, so this is a 4-bet sometimes as a bluff.
Yes, that's what we were just talking about, yeah.
Yeah, this is a 4-bet bluff sometimes. Which, imagine if you got Ace Queen to fold, like what a huge win that is, right? Like
that is, I think that's literally probably why it is.
Yes, 100%. And it has playability if you get called, right? Like you can get straights and flushes and stuff, right? I mean, like it's not dead in the water if you get called, but like It's a
Yeah.
but it's a call too, like pretty frequently, 50% of the time. So, I think you're checking. Now this is one that I don't think you're betting your whole range because it's lower connected, whatever. I think you're checking with some frequency here. So if you're gonna bet, since you're checking more often, if you're gonna bet, you bet a little bit bigger when you do, right? Because you're polarizing a little bit more, right? So check, probably good. Pot, slightly over pot. Probably works. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I'm doing that with no real equity other than, I mean, you're dead, right? But
That's a tough one because 8s, 10s, 6s can all call there.
yeah.
Like Queen 10 can call, Queen King can call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how many 8s are in the 3 betting range, but 10 are. And yeah, King. I mean, that's a lot of. I don't know, man. I mean, this is.
That's a bad. I think that's a mistake.
I think that's a little too aggressive. I think you have better hands that you can bet and do that with.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, at least have a flush draw.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have some equity. All right, here we go, and it's a walk. We made $1. First dollar session. How about that? Good job. King 6 suited opens. Everything folds. Totally reasonable. Nothing worth talking about. Hero opens. Are we gonna up? We steal it.
Okay, nice. Nobody got brave.
I don't think they should have with those hands.
Yeah.
So we're up to $4. I think we're down. I don't know where we're at. All right, Ace 10 offsuit on the button. Totally an open. Bolts. Good job.
These.
I mean, there's a lot of these, and maybe this format isn't that good because there's a lot.
Well, I think what's gonna work honestly is finding good hands, and then making sure we have a zinger and some good analysis in like 1 to 2 minutes, and then you post those as a daily hand.
Yeah.
I think you could get a shit ton of traction. Like this idea of like, oh, that's not a 3-bet. Well, what is a 3-bet? Oh, right. 4-5 suited is your 3-bet. Oh, okay.
So 7-8 suited on the cutoff. This is an interesting spot, I think. This guy just folded it. Are you ever playing this?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I've 3-bet that. I've called it.
So like, this is really interesting to me. This again, this isn't like the correct range. This is just a range that has considered, GTO and solver stuff. 23% 3-bet. Call almost never, 4% of the time, and fold the rest. That surprises me. That it likes 5-4 suited and 6-5 suited like way more than 7-8 suited. I'm not 100% sure why.
Well,
I mean, you can still get squeezed, right? Like, if you're just flatting here, you can still there's still 3 people to act. You could get squeezed. Like, I don't know. But there's definitely one thing that I have an internal fight with these ranges. I've been committed to using them, and I've been pretty disciplined about it. But, like, there's a lot of times with the suited connectors where I'm just like, I want to play them. And, like, the range is like, nope. So.
Interesting. It must just be, I don't know.
I mean, I think they just make, like, a lot of, like, middle pairs, and then
and like
kind of calling down against, like, top pair, and because you have to, and I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, there's not enough multi-way pots.
Right. And the solver doesn't really deal with multi-way pots.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Small blind versus the low jack open. Now, the charts say this is a fold. This is a min click. 2 big blinds. I don't know. This guy's got 50 behind. He's short stacked. I might get spicy with this. 3-bet it. But he's probably not a good player. I feel like this guy can bet this board a lot. But so this is the great mystery for me is what is the small blind flatting range? It is so hard to like put somebody on anything. I think that it's not a bad I think it's okay to throw out the oh well this board texture is really good for the high jack open or the low jack open range. Like he can bet free like what we're talking about. Small bet, frequent, whatever. Cause this guy's flatting range, just because it's queen high, he could have queen 7. And he's just calling everything because he's an idiot. And he kind of looks like an idiot. He only has 50 big blinds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that you can just play your hand pretty face up in this small blind flat range against it. It's just oh, I didn't get anything. I have backdoor flush draw. Hopefully it goes check check and we'll see what happens. I think that's correct. That might be the correct way to play against someone who just flatted in the small blind. But if you had ace queen of clubs, then you just bet and you bet pretty big because this guy's gonna call you with queen 7 a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, check. And then, okay, he checks twice, you can take a little stab ski. But once he calls, I don't think this is working very often. It worked this time. Shows
on 7s.
Pocket 7s. I mean, this is a delayed c-bet tactic, right? It's
Yeah.
I check the flop, see what happens. 9, I mean, it's not great, but
and the guy's short stack, so he doesn't want to lose more money.
Yeah, so it's you take a stab, and then if he just calls, I mean, if this guy shoves here, easy fold, right? But he just calls, and it's nothing.
Yeah, that call's so weak. But the 9-10 queen, it's Jack X is calling,
Yeah, I mean, it works, but I don't know.
He overbets it.
I might have, yeah. Well, I think this is the pot if you don't count taken out. I think he probably clicked the pot bet button.
Gotcha.
Ace 2 offsuit is fold from the button, by the way. I don't know if you're ever playing that hand, but... So basically, Ace 4 offsuit is the lowest Ace X off that I'm ever playing from the button.
From the button?
From the button, correct, as an open.
Wow. I've raised Ace 2.
Oh, I have too, but I mean, against anonymous play, you don't know who you're up against, right?
Yeah.
You gotta just...
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, that's... Yeah, I mean... it's probably a leak.
I mean, I don't think it's a leak against if you know who the players are and if you can look at
yeah.
This guy, there's a nit on the button he's folding too much. Yeah, you raise Ace 2, right? But you don't know. This guy's 97.5 big blinds. This guy could be super GTO, right? You can't.
Yeah, and the other thing too is tournament poker is always different. Yeah, okay, that's good. See, that's a good thing that probably you could help people with. It's Ace 2 is a fold. Why? Oh, okay. I mean, it's
and tournament poker, if there's antes and stuff, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So, I know you're going to stack up here in a second.
Well, we got oh, here we go. I think we win some. I think we win some here. Queen Jack offsuit open. That's way too wide. That's a
Okay, what hand? So Jack King, he can do it there.
not too frequently. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
According to my chart, right?
No, yeah.
King Jack is 50-50 ish.
Okay.
King 10 off is like about the worst offsuit king, and that's like 20% of the time. Honestly, I fold King 10 off in the low jack almost pure. Even though this says I can raise it 23%, it's like,
No, that's cool.
yeah. But Queen Jack is like, yeah. You can get called by King Queen and better.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Illustrated probably in this hand. How does King 10 suited fold, bro? Wow. I don't think that's right. I am pretty surprised at that. Hijack versus low jack. Yeah, I mean that's 70% raise, 30% call according to my chart. I'm never playing King 10 suited.
Wow.
Anyway,
Interesting.
Nitty
Yeah.
Peterson over here. We are 3-betting this 76% of the time, which is pretty frequent.
Okay, boom.
Because if guys are opening that wide, like you 3-bet.
He's gonna open that wide, and then he's gonna fold when you 3-bet. What a dumbass.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that's
Actually,
better than calling.
I guess. It's like you might as well not even be in there. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I mean, it's...
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
9's open. Ace-8 offsuit, not good enough against a hijack. Open, folds. Here we go. Uh-oh. Okay. Ducks. Did not flop a set. Now look at this. I don't think this is a good c-bet size for this board texture.
Only if he knows somebody's going to raise him because he bets so small. It's like,
but if somebody raises him, the big blind has King 8, King 9. It has, like...
Well, I think the big blind is just raising because it's a 1. It's just such a donk, and it still is such a donk bet.
You mean he's...
Yeah, like the min bet is such a bad bet that people raise just with error on that. So I think he's like trying to like combine that like he's trying to like, it's kind of like I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of like yeah.
I don't know, man. Seems like fancy play to me.
It is fancy play for sure.
Because now if you do get check raised here, is the back of your mind like he could have a good king, he could have a set of 8s, he could have a set of 9s, or he could be on a draw. And if he's on a draw, then you got to just keep calling down. And if he's on a draw and then the board runs out bad for you, you're folding your queens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just put yourself in this awkward situation.
Dude, I've seen guys now, man, on some of these fucking bomb pots min bet.
Yeah.
And then people will just raise them, and then they're like shoving all in with top set, and you're like, holy fuck. And so now when they min bet, I've seen everyone fold out. It's fucking crazy. Like they've like gotten smarter with them, and like one of those strategies I've seen is this min bet. And like I started doing, because everyone's like, fuck you, it's a bomb pot, raise. And then the guy's like, okay, like
all in.
And then like someone will call the raise because they're like, he's raising because he min bet, so this raise is like really wide. And
yeah.
Then, so like they'll call like 12 big blinds, and then the original guy's like all in 400 big, 120 big blind. It's funny, dude. I was like, oh, that's clever. Yeah. Anyway, it's a digress. Anyway, so yeah, he calls.
Yeah, you gotta call.
Oh, so close.
Okay, now we're charging the 2s a little better.
Now what's he gonna do? He's got to fold. Yeah.
I think you got to fold that once he gets this on the turn. I mean, that's fine. Good job, buddy. Boy, nothing exciting yet, huh? 8, 9.
I gotta stop at noon Just a heads up
Okay.
to help Jess for her interview.
No, it's all good, man. A7 cutoff versus hijack. So this is 50-50 in my range.
Okay.
3-bet or fold. So I mean he folds, it's okay, I think, but I don't know if he's ever 3-betting it, or he could have just been folding it. Fascinating. We could. This is taking too long, I think.
It's fine. I mean, because
like we're only through we're not through any hands. Like let's sort it by pot size.
Well, because ultimately, I think where the format will be good for this is doing one or two hands at a time, and if you create an account where you're basically people can just like, oh, I'll watch this.
Yeah.
They have a 2 or 3 minute attention span.
Yeah.
And then it's like move on. So
well, and then the algorithm automatically starts the next one for you, and then they watch like 10 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. But how we format it from there is up to us. But yeah.
All right, King Queen open standard. Ace Deuce 3-bet on the button. This is way too wide.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to fucking raise on the button for that with that.
I don't think you're supposed to call Ace Deuce offsuit.
Are you supposed to? Can you 3-bet if it's suited?
No.
Wow.
So like
you know you're bad. You know you're in a bad spot if you can't even suit it to make it right play.
So it have a polarized 3-bet, but it wants a little bit better than Ace Deuce. It wants
it wants it.
Ace 5, Ace 4, Ace 6, Ace 7 is a little bit better because that gets the Ace 8, Ace 9, Ace 10s to fold, I think. Especially offsuits, right? Like it gets all 6, 7, 8, 9 to fold. I don't know. Anyway, you're not playing Ace Deuce offsuit. Like you're just folding it because this is a terrible hand. King Queen should probably call though, and that's why he should call.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is one. It's like, well, that's really good for your range, but like you fucking airball it.
And then he calls. Okay, Jack.
So now this guy's got open-ended, top pair open-ended, and he blocks hearts.
Can the Ace Deuce? So this costs the Ace Deuce a lot of money if he folds here. Is he gonna just call or raise it?
Fold.
Wow, that's expensive. Those were the mistakes that, like, on paper, you're like, I'm playing well, I'm folding when I don't get it, I'm making my bluffs, I'm making my squeezes. But that ends up the difference between being a $50 an hour player and a $10 an hour player. You know, like,
yeah,
you're obviously, you're aggressive, you're in there, but you're.
Oh, we looked at this one already. We looked at that one. Okay, so we've looked at all the big ones, mostly.
What about your hand? Your big hand?
That's this one.
Let's see it.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, Ace King opens under the gun.
Big open. Big open. Is that 7.5?
No, it's 2.5.
Oh, okay. 3-bet.
8s fold, which is
okay. Good job, 8s.
It's probably right. Good job, 8s. 4-bet jam, all in for all of the.
Wow. Now, what are you doing there with Ace King?
I'm calling.
100% call range.
And the reason is I think that the 4-bet all-in jam, over jam, is just retarded range. I think it's retarded. I think like every now and then they're doing it with like Ace Queen and like Ace 10 or something. Like I've seen it happen too many times for them to just be like with Ace Queen offsuit.
And you're picking up 9 big blinds. That's the other problem here is you didn't like 3-bet it even at like 13 or 14.
No, well, he only opened to 2.5, and I'm in
yeah,
position.
I mean,
I don't need to 3-bet very big from the button, right? Like, this is just such a retarded play.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I am calling this with Ace King all the time, and the truth, and you know, sometimes he's gonna have queens, and you've got 50% like odds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like the Ace King, like I think that needs to be a note for like a central point. If we do, like this idea of the jam here, the 3-bet jam, the terrible 3-bet jam, or
I mean, this is a pretty bad play, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. I mean, I have aces here, and I call, right? Like, obviously, like, if I 3-bet, like, here, we can look at what my button versus low jack range is. Right? So, here's my button versus, this is what I'm 3-betting. Right? And then this is, I mean, a normal 4-bet is I'm calling down with whatever, and I don't think this is all right, but like an abnormal 4-bet, like you get rid of all of this, and like you keep like jacks or like queens and better. I don't know. Jacks is the toughest decision here, right?
Yeah.
Like jacks, it's like, well, he can't, like, cause even ace queen, like you're kind of like, you know. But you still have a pair. Like,
yeah, I think the jack. I mean,
that's the toughest decision. The rest of this, like aces, ace king, kings, ace king. If I'm ready to shove this, any of these hands, I'm calling it off with this 4-bet over shove bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And like, and the thing is like the reason why I think this is such a bad play is because it just forces me to play correctly. Like,
oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's such a huge amount, right? That it's like, okay, like I just fold everything that's not like aces, ace, king, and kings, and queens. I could call queens, I think. And like the only tough decision for me is jack. And that's 6 combinations out of however many I had. You know what I mean? And it's like it doesn't.
It forces you to play. What did you say? That's a good line.
It forces me to play correctly. Like, and that's I stole that from Jonathan Little. Like he says that all the time. He's like, if you make a big huge jam here, like your opponent doesn't have a very difficult decision. Like they're not likely to make a mistake. Like they're just gonna call with really good hands, right? And like you said, you're shoving so much to win 9 big blinds. Like with ace king, like you're coin flipping.
Yeah.
You know, and like you get me to fold a fair amount, but like it's only 9 big blinds. There's no way it can get me to fold enough for how much, like, I don't know. I mean, I just think, and again, on top of the fact that like this, we should like, I'll make a tag. You know what?
Yeah.
Make a tag right now.
Make a tag of like, because I think what we can do is make a tag of hands, and then we re-record, or we just edit the
4-bet over shove. What icon do we want? We're gonna make it an eagle.
Why? Because it's you're just trying to see the bigger picture here. Honestly, bro, the 4-bet over jam shove is like.
So I guarantee you that after I go through a bunch of hands like this, 4-bet over shoves, this range is going to surprise you at how much bullshit is in it. To the point where it's like, yeah, ace king is a no-brainer. Like you just snap call ace king.
Jacks is a no, and like
Jacks. Honestly, I like Jacks is tricky just because it just sucks that there's like that even in the bullshit part of the range. This is what we were talking about yesterday, right? Yeah. They're
king queen. Yeah.
They're overplaying their hand, but like they could have ace queen, and then like, a queen or an ace beats you.
Yeah,
starting to give them a little bit more equity, right? Like
go through the overbet jam range.
Yeah. But it's not like this is not like, dude. This was not that big of a 3-bet. We're hella deep stacked. It's not like I have 60 big blinds or something. Like I have 95. I have 100 big blinds, and he has 120. Like we are full stack. Shove.
Dude, I like that line though. I mean, forcing you to play correctly.
I mean, I stole it.
I know it doesn't matter. In social media, and I wrote this note down on the Gmail. That's like part of it. Yeah. So I think what we could do. This is kind of just like, I mean, I think we could see what kind of traction we could find a couple of hands. I could just release them on my regular handle and see what kind of traction they get, and then you could create an actual TikTok, Instagram handle if you wanted to. That's like Poker Hand Zoom, or would you create some name?
It probably I absolutely hate TikTok, but it's probably perfect for that format.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it's
because it's short, right? Like it's if
you
did these little 2-minute.
And then if they're interested, they click. Well, then you have like a website, and then they realize you're a sports bettor, and then no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like the thing is if they want more, they can get more. But the idea is that you're not turning. There's just most people want. It's an opt-in net where it's like. Well, you can do Instagram too. It doesn't have to be. I hate TikTok too, but you just do 1 or 2 hands, but then you have an arsenal of them. But then you're releasing 1 a day, 2 a day, and then you can hone it down with like, yeah, just like zingers and jokes, and then you could have. I actually think it could do pretty well. I'm gonna look to see how many people are doing it. But I also think it just do pretty well because this fucking what this is bringing to the table, seeing everyone's hold cards.
I think it's like so. What most people I think are doing, and I know you got to go, but
yeah,
I think most people are just doing poker vlogs.
Yeah, and that's fine, but like this is something different. This is like, hey guys, and we can make it vlog. Like we can sneak in 20 seconds of a podcast. I mean, it's not a lot,
but so like the thing that I hate about I have tried to watch poker vlogs.
Oh, dude, they're bad, bro.
They're so bad, and it's like the guy. The format is the guy sitting in his room, and he has.
Dude, they were doing them in Costa Rica, and I was judging them, but.
Yeah. And you should judge them because
okay, thank you.
Stupid.
Now, sometimes I realize if I would have just done it, I would have had a base of 10,000. It's fine.
Probably, but like it's just so I can't see the appeal in it. Like it's like, and then they do these hands, and it's like, yeah, I played for 4 hours, and they show like 3 or 4 hands. They do highlights, and then they have like some music and interstitial, like them driving around wherever they're going, and it's just like, this is not interesting to me, like at all. And so I feel like this is just like condensing. The interesting part is like hearing about the hands somewhat. Like I do kind of like hearing about the hands, but there's all this other bullshit in between. It's like, let's just condense.
Yeah, I think we would have 2 categories of hand type releases. Hands that shit like even Jessica and people that know the rules of poker but have never heard the words PTO or range are gonna like.
Yeah.
And then stuff that people are like, oh, they're interested in like the weakest part of the range, and then trying to figure out if there's a way to combine them, or you just have separate, and you just see what hits.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it would be easy, not that hard, and I think we could do it, and might as well. So if you want to flag some hands, what we can do is we can record them, and then I can edit it on TikTok, release it, show it to you, and then you can put your name on it, like at the beginning.
Yeah, whatever.
And then you can also create your own Instagram if you want. I know you love social media, so it's easy for you to just get right on there. All right, well, let's just plan on doing. Well, we'll figure it out, but let's plan on one more session this weekend.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Good shit.
All right, bro.
Later.
See ya.